We are going to do a review of this tactile pen. This is what I purchased on Amazon for $16, $15.99. Comes with a glass cutter, stylus, pen, rope cutter, glass breaker, LED flashlight, touchscreen tip, whistle, bottle opener, and a multi-tool, even though it doesn't say that on there, but it does. So overall, this has a lot of gadgets, but what do we do with these gadgets when not in use? So I'm going to show you. Here's the pen itself. There is a nice, very sturdy and secure tip on there. The rope cutter is on the top there. There is a flashlight on the top, the button for the flashlight. The gold thing you see inside currently is housing the whistle, which those interchangeable parts also go in there, but you have to interchange them and take the top off to do that. And then here's the pen itself with the glass cutter. There's your ballpoint, and the glass cutter is at the end, which is also your fine ballpoint pen. And this is a velour bag that you could keep it in. And this is the original box that it came in. There's the top where it says Caillou with a little card to the right. And this is the actual box that it keeps everything neatly in. If you want to keep it in a box, I don't know why you would, but it does come in a nice packaging. So for that, that's really nice. So we're going to go ahead and show you a close-up what this is all about. Okay, so here's the pen itself. There's your rope cutter. This is your clip on your shirt. See how tight that is? Really nice and tight. Here is your flashlight. It's definitely a nice flashlight, and it has an emergency flashing light on it as well, which is the second option. So that is nice. Works very well. Your batteries, by the way, are installed in here when you take the top off. I'll show you that in a minute. And then here is the bottom of your pen, your ballpoint pen, which is really nice, and your glass cutter. And the premise is that, you know, it's nice and heavy for that purpose, and a nice grip. If you ever had to cut glass, you could just do it. There's a really nice grip on it. So as far as the batteries go, this comes off at the very top. And your batteries go in here. Of which, by the way, they gave you a really nice second set of batteries, which I thought was very generous and thoughtful. Especially for the $15.99. There they are in there. The originals that are in the pen that I already installed came in this slot. Here's your extra batteries here. And it also comes with 3 ballpoint replacements. So the one's already in the pen, and here's your 2 extras here. So very nice. And this is such a bold ballpoint that this is actually your glass cutter when housed inside this heavy-duty apparatus. So I'm guessing this weight and durability of both is what cuts your glass. So we'll put that back there. And additionally, here is your multi-tool, even though it doesn't say multi-tool that you're getting it, but you're actually getting a multi-tool. Here's your bottle opener. This is your bottle opener right here. I don't have anything to open it with, but I'm sure it works fine. And there's a real tiny tool that you could open a nut with there, but it's the tiniest of openers, wrenches. And then at the very tip, that's a screwdriver. So I could show you that, which I'm not real. Here's a regular size nut. Here's more or less a regular size nut. Here's a much smaller nut. Then here is an even smaller nut. Now, this is the one that is the only size that this wrench will even touch. So this is the proper size right here. That's the only one it'll open. So I don't know how often anyone is ever going to have a nut that's small in an emergency that they need to open, because look at how tiny that is compared to a regular size nut. And I knew I was going to drop that. So, just doesn't make a lot of sense. So I'll put those down, show you the screwdriver on it. So here's the screwdriver on it. Yeah, it works. You could use that. And also you could see those jagged edges there. I'm not sure what that's for. Maybe it's another rope cutter. I really don't know. It's really fine. So I can't say for sure. And here is your touch screen tip. And how this works is, now, your whistle's in here. This is what I currently have in here. This is what it came with, the whistle, inside the pen. In order to put these apparatuses in there, you have to unscrew this. Here's your whistle, which is actually really kind of cool. It's more of a dog whistle because I noticed that my dog was really attentive to the whistle. I'll blow it for you. So there's that. I'll do a loud one. That's the loudest it goes. So now you have to take this whistle out if you want to use the multi-tool. You have to attach the multi-tool. So now it's even shorter and there's not much of a grip if you want to use the multi-tool. Here's your tiniest of tiny nuts, which it works on, but the tiniest of nut ever known to man. So there's that. And then your screwdriver. So there's that. Now if you want to use again, you have to take it apart if you want to use these different apparatuses. This is your touch screen tip. So this could be useful. The pen is now shorter. You could use both the pen and the touch screen tip together. And the unit does write really well. And here's your touch screen, your rubber tip. It's just a basic rubber tip. For your touch screen. So there's that. But my question is, when you're using these things, what are you going to do with this top? Are you going to clip it on your shirt? Are you going to put it in this bag? What are you going to do with the multi-tool and the whistle while you're using this? For me, unless I can store all of these items inside the pen somehow, it doesn't make a lot of sense to have this multi-tools because they're just going to get lost. For me. That's for me. So I really have no use for this touch screen tip. Doesn't work for me, my uses. This is too small to really utilize it in any fashion. I mean, if you're in a survival mode, are you going to carry this bag around and carry these items in there or carry the box around? I certainly wouldn't. So for me, I might occasionally use this whistle, although to be honest with you, I probably wouldn't. And I'll tell you why. I'm also putting it on backwards. I'll tell you why. Because I personally would not take the time to take this cap off to use the whistle. Because as you can see now that it's stored away, which all of these items should be stored away in there somehow. You should be able to store them in a way in there for it to be, you know, to actually use them if you ever needed them. Otherwise, they're just haphazardly hanging around in no man's land or in a bag and you got to carry the bag. So, okay, the rope cutter. Here's the rope cutter. Now, mind you, this is extremely thin rope I'm using. Let's just go ahead and try it. So here we go. Here's your rope cutter. Okay, well that worked. Again, it's really thin rope, but it did work nicely. And then don't forget about your flashlight, which is nice, and your security light. So that works. Now overall, in my personal opinion, this is really heavy. So for carrying it around as a writing utensil, it's really big. And by the way, it is, I believe, 6.5 inches. 6.5 whopping inches. For me, it's way too heavy to use as a pen every day. I certainly wouldn't. You can see how ginormous it is in my hand. It does write nice. Definitely writes nice. It's a beautiful writer. But it's too heavy for me. Again, the extra sets of bullet points and the batteries is excellent. You know, the extra ink cartridges. There's 2 extra ones. But where are you going to store all of these items, like I said before? I would really only use it for the pen, maybe the emergency glass cutter. Here's the thing with the glass cutter. What are you going to do? Are you going to keep this in your vehicle? If you do, I wouldn't not leave it loose hanging, because where are you going to find it when you need it? I would leave it clipped on your visor or something. So you have it when you need it. It is a nice flashlight. The flashlight is handy to have when you're looking for something for sure. And even a little flasher. And the pen is nice. But how useful is it for $16? I mean, I might keep it. It's probably just going to lay around more than it's going to be used. But you decide. You've seen how it works. You've seen how it's demonstrated. You've seen where all these parts can or can't go. I mean, are you going to store them in this bag? How hard would they be to get out of this bag if you stored it in the bag? I know you're not going to store it in the box and carry the box around with you wherever you go, because that would be silly, right? Well, that's my review of this tactile pen, stylus, pen, rope cutter, glass breaker, LED flashlight, touch screen, tip, whistle, bottle opener. We already said ballpoint pen. And there is the multi-tool there, which you can see, and it does have all those things, so it looks like a lot. I thought it was worth it when I bought it, but unfortunately, because this unit does not store all these items in the pen, it's useless to me. They would just get lost. These items, these parts would just get lost. Oh, and there is a little keychain, which I don't know where you're going to put the keychain, because quite frankly, I don't know what you would do with it. Maybe you put it on the bag and then you carry the bag around with you on your keychain. Now there's an option. That might work, but this would be very heavy to carry around on your keychain. Let me tell you, very heavy. It is very weighty. Well, thanks for watching my review of the tactile pen.